On Facebook, ADA Yang, whenever you're ready.
Thank you. Hello, everyone, and welcome to our annual Asian Pacific Islander Heritage Celebration. My name is Lisa Yang, and I'm an Assistant District Attorney with the Queens County District Attorney's Office. I have the pleasure of being the moderator for tonight's event. We have an exciting program with special honorees and cultural performances to commemorate the diversity of the Asian communities of Queens. We are excited to come together to celebrate everyone virtually today. Now, I am honored to introduce the Deputy Abbess of the International Buddhist Progress Society, New York, the Venerable Yu Wang, for an invocation.
Good afternoon, everyone. Distinguished guests, a special greeting to everyone. I'm Venerable Yu Wang, the Deputy Abbot of International Buddhist Progress Society. It's a Chinese Buddhist order of Humanics Buddhism. As a monastic, my spiritual role is akin to a priest or reverend or a leader of the religious community. Within my Buddhist community, we embrace all faiths, all cultural and religious tradition represented here today. All are equal and all are part of the same human community, the same world upon which we depend for our sustenance. And as a lifelong member of the Asian community, having been born in Taiwan, this is a special event for me personally. So let us bow our head and reverence our special spiritual guide as we all pray. Please allow me to share the screen with my prayer. Dear God, Buddha, spiritual guides, with our utmost sincerity, please hear our prayer for our people and our future. As we commemorate our cultural and custom during this annual event, we come with heavy hearts. We have experienced increased violence toward our people. The pain is immeasurable. And yet we have benefited from the goodwill of other oppressed groups and even the majority race of our country. Yet there is much of contemplate, much to do, many lessons to be learned, and many vows to make if we are to achieve the peace about which you teach. Therefore, we pray to you to give our American, Asian, and Pacific Island community wisdom and confidence to manage our daily affairs, strength to endure any hardships that hatred and misunderstanding bring to our doors, favorable cause and condition to realize a joyful life in our family and community. May we be remembered by your teachings that we are born in purity and virtue, and that we can withstand and learn from these difficult times. May the richest of blessing be granted to us in the form of the 7 kinds of wealth, a healthy body with the energy to participate in our family, community, and livelihood, a compassionate heart that sees the needs of all members of our community, a wise mind that assures good judgment and decision-making, frugality and diligence to improve our actions, a broad mind that is able to understand and accept any circumstances, inner wisdom to look for the truth of the universe as you have told us, and a world of good cause and conditions to fill us with immense gratitude. Let us also learn from the hardships and the heartache that we have experienced. Let us respond and then the hatred with love to discrimination with the tolerance and reach out to others with love. Great compassionate Buddha, God is supreme spiritual teachers. Please accept our sincerest prayer. Amitofo. And this is our sincerest greeting and wish you an everlasting light and everlasting life. Thank you. Amitofo.
Thank you so much, Deputy Abbess. And now I have the distinct pleasure of introducing the person responsible for making this event possible, one who cares deeply about the borough of Queens and has spent much of her career in public service working to improve and protect the lives of Queens residents. Melinda Katz is the first woman elected to serve as a district attorney of Queens and has established the first all-women leadership team with Chief Executive ADA Jennifer Nyberg and Chief of Staff Camille Chin Ki-Fat. Since taking office during an unprecedented time in 2020, the district attorney has led her office through a nationwide pandemic to ensure the safety of the more than 2 million people who live and work in this borough. Among her year one accomplishments are the creation of a conviction integrity unit to restore justice to the wrongfully convicted, which is another Queens first, and an enhanced community partnerships division to strengthen ties to the many communities that comprise the most diverse county in America. As Queens District Attorney, she brings a steady, community-centered approach to the office while also helping to implement meaningful changes in the criminal justice system. Please welcome District Attorney Melinda Katz.
Good afternoon, everyone. Thank you so much for joining us here as we celebrate AAPI month. I want to thank Lisa Yang for the work that she does as a district attorney, as an assistant district attorney in the Major Economic Crimes Bureau. Those are investigations and prosecutions that are very intricate, very detailed, and she does it with grace and ease. And I want to thank her for her leadership. I want to thank all of you for joining our virtual festivities this evening. Yeah, there is a light at the end of the tunnel with ongoing vaccination efforts nationwide. I have hope and I have faith that we will soon be able to celebrate these momentous occasions safely and in person. My office has worked hard throughout this year to create a structure that brings more justice to all the people of Queens County. We continue to work day to day towards a safer and a more just borough. Throughout this pandemic, we've worked to reduce violence, to educate the public about predators, to strengthen our ability to protect immigrants and workers. We are very concerned about the increase of attacks against members of the Asian community. These incidents must stop, and because we want to change the climate of fear that has been created by these attacks. But let's be clear, even before COVID, Asian crimes have been increasing. It's increased last year in the city of New York, but over the last 5 years, throughout the country, they've incrementally increased. And so we want to make sure that at the source, we educate, we hold people accountable for hate crimes, but that we also have these celebrations of the amazing people in Queens County who have given so much and become such the lifeblood of our borough. And that's part of combating hate as well. We can combat this trend if we work together. And I want to make clear that when these incidents occur and these attacks occur, they affect everyone in Queens, and our diversity is our strength, and we stand together. But we also need everyone's help. People need to report the crimes in real time as it's being committed. We need videos. We need real-time phone calls. As soon as we get to the phones of the defendant, it is a better prosecution. The witness accounts, all of that is key in making sure that we hold people accountable. It's the reason I started the Hate Crimes Bureau here in Queens County for the first time. It has its own bureau. We created the Human Trafficking Bureau. We created the Conviction Integrity Unit. We created the Bureau of Housing and Worker Protection. We created the Violent Criminal Enterprise Bureau. to get the drivers of crime off the streets and make sure that as the drivers of crime are prosecuted, that we pull up young people and we mentor them and we show them a better way and a better path with mentors and with meaningful community relationships, so that, let's face it, so the kids don't pick up the same guns and use them as the generation before. So all of that is important. But tonight we are celebrating a group of community leaders who has their goal to make this borough a better place, who work day and night to make sure that within the Asian Pacific Islanders community in Queens, but also throughout the entire borough, that they're setting great examples. And just so you know, we started this year not only to celebrate community leaders, but also to celebrate an assistant district attorney working in my office and a staff member working in my office who also celebrate this month. And I'm looking forward to handing their awards to them as well. But for now, I would like to ask, we have our great Senator, John Liu, who is always around in the community and delivers great things for his district. I would love it if he would say a few words. Senator Liu.
Thank you, Madam DA. I feel like I'm not an assistant DA, but I'm an assistant to the DA's office. Given that I am on a Zoom with you, it feels like every week. I can't get enough of it. Because this district attorney, in addition to being history making, is somebody who has been so committed to protecting the public. I've served with her for many years in government as well, in the city council, and the force and enthusiasm and vigor with which she has approached this office is really amazing, and I am grateful for her efforts, especially in this time when Asian Pacific Americans have faced, I don't even call it an increase, it's been an absolute onslaught of anti-Asian hate and bigotry. And the DA, while being fair, is relentless in doing her part to stem the tide of this violence against those in our community. And, no more appropriate commemoration of Asian Pacific American Heritage Month than this event. So once again, I find myself in a position of having to show gratitude to Melinda Katz, but also to our honorees, because these are honorees who Melinda has chosen, not of any random sort of any type, but rather based on their history and their records of service to the community. Starting with Councilmember Koo, of course, and all the other honorees. Don't worry, I see you, Jeannie. I ain't gonna miss you, all right? So congratulations to all the honorees. I take this as not only a token of appreciation from our great district attorney, but really as a continuing down payment on the work you still yet have to do for our community. Happy Asian Pacific American Heritage Month. Thank you, Melinda, and thanks to all. Be safe and be healthy.
Thank you very much. And I'm going to turn this now over to Ms. Yang, I believe, to introduce our first artist. Before the senator leaves, I had the opportunity of talking to the senator the other day. He was very vocal and active about the woman who was attacked at a bakery a few weeks ago, or a few months now, 2 months ago or so. We did bring that, just so everybody knows, into the grand jury. And we did get an aggravated harassment against the man who did that, the defendant. It is a felony we asked for, but it ended up being an A misdemeanor, but it is charged as a hate crime as the element of that harassment. So I wanted to make sure that everyone knows. Sometimes it just takes a while for the investigation, but we try to get to justice at the end. So Ms. Yang.
Thank you so much. Thank you.
Of course. So we are fortunate enough tonight to have 2 videos from Mark Nunez of Woodside to highlight Filipino culture. First, a short Tinikling folk dance video, which was taped at the Queensboro Dance Festival 2020 by the Physical Plant, followed by a modern hip hop dance, Bini by Lucky, inspired by native Philippines Two-Spirit ancestors by Gotham Dance Theater.
Waiting on one more video. Thank you very much. That was awesome. Very nice, very nice. Before I introduce our first honoree, I would like to thank the Venerable Yu Wang for being here with us always, being part of our committee. We thank you for the advisory committee and of course the Hindu Temple Society, Rabi Vandayana Shiva Pasarir. We thank, how'd I do? Well, thank you. We thank you both for being such an extraordinary part of the celebration.
Thank
So
you.
now, Lisa, with your permission, I'd like to do the first honoree.
All yours.
The first honoree is at the end of his term for the New York City Council. And we couldn't allow him to leave office without honoring him in a proper way. Councilman Peter Koo was elected to the New York City Council in November of 2009, and he has been a great leader. He immigrated to America from Hong Kong in 1971 and worked a bunch of jobs in order to put himself through the University of Mexico College of Pharmacy. He earned a Bachelor of Science degree. He founded and served as CEO and president of Starside Pharmacy chain located in Flushing. He has been a leader at the Flushing Business Improvement District, president of the Flushing Chinese Business Association, and served on Community Board 7. He is the president of the Peter Koo Community Charitable Organization, which recently made a $100,000 donation to LaGuardia Community College and 20 wheelchairs to Elmhurst Hospital. Throughout his years, he's also donated generously to local senior centers. He's affectionately called the mayor of Flushing because of all of his involvement in civics and philanthropy endeavors. Peter embodies the American dream. As he terms out of office after 3 terms in the New York City Council, I am delighted to present to him with the Asian Pacific Islander Heritage Month Award for his outstanding leadership and service. Congratulations, Councilman, and here is your award, and we will have it delivered to your office.
Thank you.
Congratulations.
Thank you very much. So I say a few words.
Please.
Thank you. I would like to thank DA cast, all elected officials, honorees, and all the participants in today's program. I'm deeply honored to be recognized by this distinguished office. I could never be where I am today if it wasn't for a number of trailblazers before me. It's hard to believe that I have been in office in the City Council for 12 years. It's even harder to believe that I'm the second Asian American to hold this seat for Flushing in the City Council. 20 years ago, there were 0 Asian American elected officials anywhere in New York. Today, we hold seats in the City Council, the Senate, the Assembly, and the Congress. The growth of AAPI community is tremendous, but it has been a long road to get here. And we still have so far to go. Asian Americans and Pacific Islanders have always been among those seeking to build a better life in America. By working hard to build new lives for themselves and their families, Asian Americans and Pacific Islanders in search of opportunity have helped make our city what it is today. Historically, it has not been easy for Asian Americans to win the right to participate fully in the life of our city. The early times of Asian American immigration to New York were marked by the tremendous struggle and hardship. And this past year has been particularly difficult for AAPI community. Today, the fight against discrimination is far over, but New Yorkers of Asian and Pacific Islander heritage break down new barriers every day, playing increasingly prominent roles in all professions, branches of government, and civic life. So today, we celebrate this progress. We celebrate our recovery and everything the future holds for Asian American and Pacific Islanders. Thank you again for this honor. I would like to wish all of you a happy Asian American and Pacific Islander Heritage Month. Thank you, DA Cass.
Thank you, Councilman Koo, and we wish you all the luck in your future endeavors, and we know you'll do great wherever you are.
I will keep myself busy.
I'm sure you will. I'd like to give Assemblywoman Raj Kumar a moment to just say hello, and she has joined us, and we thank her. I'm also following her around the borough, it seems like today. So we thank her for the work that she has done and for showing up and bringing things home for her district. Assemblywoman, and thank you for joining us.
Thank you so much to our distinguished DA, Melinda Katz. I would never miss an event of our distinguished DA. And I came because she really is Asian. She is Asian. I mean, I see her at every Bangladeshi event, at every Punjabi event, at the Gurdwara. I mean, she's an adopted member of the community. And
thank you for the compliment.
I want to thank her for her leadership on all the issues affecting our community and being such a vocal advocate against hate crimes of late. I'm honored to be the first South Asian woman elected to state office, but I certainly will not be the last one. I'm just so excited for our community, which is on fire like never before. I want to thank the honoree, Councilman Peter Koo, for being a true pathbreaker for our community. The first, I mean, he really paved the way. And we have a lot of great honorees today. I'm so excited to see that my friend Jeannie Prasad will be honored. I've known her for several years. She's literally ever present everywhere. And she does amazing work, including with the Daisy Society. Korean American Family Services Center, we all know and love. And I'm thrilled to be here. And I just want to say congratulations and thank you.
Thank you very much, Assemblywoman. Next, we're delighted to recognize, are we doing both at once or?
No,
So I'm proud to recognize Asian American leaders from my office, leaders who are doing work for the residents of Queens County every single day. First, I'm proud to recognize paralegal Christopher Sue from the Criminal Court Bureau. Born to parents of Guyanese and Chinese descent, Christopher Sue is no stranger to public service. He has participated in initiatives such as organizing a neighborhood cleanup with Nickelodeon's The Big Help, serving as a council member for a day in the YMCA's Teens Take the City program, where he worked on mock legislation for increasing funding for the Summer Youth Employment Program and fighting against cuts to CUNY LEADS program as a student council member. He interned for Gregory Meeks, City Council member Fernando Cabrera, and the Honorable Marcia Hirsch of the Queens Treatment Court. Christopher has been recognized by national and local media outlets, including NBC's Today Show, New York One, the Epic Times, Chinese Edition, the World Journal for his work. He received several awards and honors from several offices, including former Assemblywoman Audrey Pfeffer. I'm delighted to present this Asian Pacific Islander Heritage Month Award to Christopher Sue. Congratulations, Christopher.
thank you, Madam District Attorney. Thank you.
You want to say a few words?
Of course, thank you. District Attorney Katz, I'd like to thank you for this prestigious honor in honor of Asian American Pacific Islander Month. I am completely honored and humbled to be in the company of my fellow honorees, who also help provide a myriad of vital services to our city, especially during this time. It has been an honor of my life to serve the people of this county for the past 6 years. I wish to thank my colleagues in the Criminal Court Bureau, including its leadership under Bureau Chief Bob Hanafy, Deputy Bureau Chiefs Pam Beyer, Denise Torino, Kevin Higgins, Unit Chief Kevin Fogarty, and our supervisors Sheila Horgan and Simeon Haniff. I also want to thank Executive ADA Angela Albertus and ADA Josh Mendel for their guidance. Thank you. I also want to thank two members of the AAPI community, ADA David Chang and former ADA Julie Trivedi, who in my high school internship here at the Queens DA's office in 2005, spurred my love of the law and my endeavoring to one day become an assistant district attorney myself. Finally, and most importantly, I must thank my family who is joining us today. I thank you all from the bottom of my heart for giving me the love, determination, and the guidance in my studies and their full support of me pursuing a career in public service. Madam District Attorney, I look forward to serving this office and this county for years to come. I thank you again from the bottom of my heart for this honor. Thank you.
Well deserved, well deserved. Thank you and congratulations. Our third awardee tonight goes to Assistant District Attorney Kiernan Chima. Assistant District Attorney Kiernan Chima was born and raised in Flushing here in Queens, graduated from Stuyvesant High School, New York University, Columbia Law School, and was the first in her family to graduate. She began her service at the Queens DA's office in 2014 as an intern in the Domestic Violence Bureau, continuing to be Assistant District Attorney from 2015, serving in the Criminal Court and Intake Bureaus. Since 2016, she has worked primarily on human trafficking investigations and prosecutions. In 2019, she obtained a jury trial conviction against a defendant for sex trafficking a teenager, after which the defendant was sentenced to 20 years in prison. In 2020, she was appointed by District Attorney me as an ADA in the newly created Human Trafficking Bureau, the first bureau of its kind, by the way, in the city of New York. She's dedicated to combating trafficking by prosecuting those who target and victimize others who are often young, face discrimination, are born outside the country, and or otherwise vulnerable and marginalized by members of our communities. Additionally, ADA Chima is active with the Asian American Bar Association of New York and serves on my hiring partners committee, where she conducts panel interviews of applicants who seek to join our office as incoming ADAs to ensure that the ADAs of my office are being hired and they are representative of the communities that we serve. She's doing a great job in our office, and I am delighted to present to her this evening with the Asian Pacific Islander Heritage Month Award. ADA Chima, thank you very much for the work that you do. Congratulations. If you'd like to say a few words, we'd love that.
Thank you so much, District Attorney Katz, for the introduction. First, I want to extend my congratulations to the other honorees, and I want to thank you for your many contributions to the AAPI community. This is such a special event celebrating Asian Pacific Islander Heritage Month, and I also want to celebrate all of the attendees and especially the performers that we have here today. I also want to thank the District Attorney of Queens County, my boss, the Honorable Melinda Katz, who, among all of her other numerous accomplishments, has been extremely proactive in tackling the increase in crimes facing the AAPI community, especially the increase in hate crimes. This has always been a priority for District Attorney Katz, who created a hate crimes bureau upon taking office, and she continues to combat xenophobia and the unfortunate trend of crime and violence facing the Asian community. DA Katz has been a fearless leader for the people of Queens, and I'm so proud and humbled to be recognized by her today during this event. As DA Katz mentioned, I serve in the first Human Trafficking Bureau in New York City, which was created shortly after COVID-19 became a global pandemic. And during the pandemic, our bureau saw a significant number of individuals turn to the various forms of trafficking for their own financial gain. And with the virus, they exposed their victims to even more dangerous and dire conditions than usual. My bureau and I were fortunate to be able to devote all of our resources towards connecting those survivors with services, navigating new COVID-19 protocols, and of course, prosecuting those cases. And these issues of human trafficking impact the Asian community, so it's rewarding to be completely dedicated to them here. So I'm grateful to DA Katz for creating this bureau, and I'm grateful to my Bureau Chief Jessica Melton for all of her support and guidance. And our ability to serve the people of Queens in these cases wouldn't be possible without our extremely hardworking support staff. So I especially want to thank them tonight. We appreciate everything you do. Thank you so much again for this award. It means a lot to me to attend this event. I will turn it back to District Attorney Katz.
Thank you, ADA Chima. Thank you so much for the work that you do. And congratulations. Our fourth honoree tonight is Jeannie Prasad. Jeannie is well known to many of us. She's been a community leader and activist for a very long time. She is one of the most dynamic activists that there is in the borough, and I happen to like her Facebook page a lot. She is involved in so many groups and services in many roles that we have met her in. She was born in Georgetown, Guyana. She was raised in Chateau Margaux, East Coast Demerara. She arrived in New York City in 1978, seeking educational and adventurous opportunities. In 1981, Jeannie joined the United States Army and served 8 years in the Army Reserve. During this time, she traveled to Egypt and throughout the United States. In 1991, she began volunteering at St. Albans Head Start and never stopped. She was appointed as a member of the board of directors in 2003 and still serves in this role. Wherever her children go, 3 boys and 1 girl, you will see Jeannie. Her husband, Ray Prasad, serves as president of the New York Corrections Department, Desi Society, the fraternal organization, and Jeannie handles all of the public relations and marketing. She is the first vice president of New American Voters Association. She is the former chair of CPAC, Chancellor Parent Advisory Council. She does so much good work, and she's been such a great friend of mine, Jeannie, and I want to thank you for that. Today we honor you with the Queens District Attorney Asian Pacific Islander Heritage Month Award. Congratulations, Jeannie.
Thank you, thank you. Thank you so much. Good afternoon, everyone on the Zoom. Thank you so much for, I'm speechless, which is rare. Thank you, District Attorney Honorable Melinda Katz, for this recognition. I'm truly honored to have been selected. I've watched you work for years while serving as the first Vice President of NAVA under the leadership of Dr. Dilip Nath and dedicated members as we brought resources to our community for voting registration. I know that you take our Queens community in your heart. While serving as New York City Daisy Society PR under the leadership of Ray Prasad, President of NYC Daisy Society, and dedicated members who has been able to contact with you on even more of our community members' concerns, such as opening up cold cases, offering advice to essential workers and their current situations. I'm even more impressed with how accessible your team has been with getting us answers to our community concerns. We might not always like the answers we get, yeah, but having open communication with your team for the community is reassuring. Thank you very much. I appreciate this very much. Derek McCall, thank you for believing in my mission to serve our community from my heart, bringing awareness and resources to our community for the past 30 years have been a true passion of mine. And I am so blessed to be able to take care of my community every day. If I don't know, I can find out is my motto, LOL. Congratulations to all the other honorees. I'm honored to be among the best. And today is our 55th International Independence Guyana celebration. So this is my color representing all the gold. Thank you very much. Thank you everyone who made this possible for me. Thank you.
Congratulations, Jeannie. I love the gold.
Thank you.
Our final honoree before we have some more entertainment is the Korean American Family Service Center. Since their founding in 1989, the Korean American Family Service Center, KAFC, has grown to be a leading not-for-profit that supports and empowers adults, youth, and children, helping them lead safe and healthy lives based on dignity, compassion, and mutual respect. They work to end domestic violence, sexual assault, and child abuse. And they want to create a violent-free society. Despite the stereotype of the model minority, statistics paint a different picture of Korean immigrants. One study found that 60% of Korean immigrant women have been battered by an intimate partner. It also found that Asian American victims are the group most likely abused by a male relative, with nearly 60% having suffered abuse. In 2020 alone, Cassie received 3,750 hotline calls. CAFC provides support in 4 areas: domestic violence and sexual assault intervention, including, by the way, a 24-hour hotline, economic empowerment, children and youth development, and finally, community outreach. They recently, by the way, congratulations to them, became part of the Family Justice Center here in Queens Criminal Court. They do transformative and amazing work. I'm proud to present them with this, looks funny, very similar to the other ones. I'm proud to present them with this award. Accepting for the Korean American Family Service Center is Ji-Hae Fisher from the center, and we welcome her and we congratulate the center for the generations of people that they will change and people's lives that they are there for. Congratulations.
Thank you so much, Honorable Queen District Attorney Melinda Katz and her team for hosting this celebration during the AAPI Heritage Month. Hello, my name is Gia Fisher, the Executive Director, the KFSC, also known as CAPS. District Attorney Melinda Katz has been standing in solidarity and marched with us year after year as we host the annual Silent March against gender-based violence. As an organization that serves Asian immigrant survivors of human trafficking, domestic violence, and sexual assault for the last 32 years, we're so grateful for DA Melinda Katz's fearless leadership and support to save lives of our Asian immigrant survivors.
Thank
The
you.
recent rise in anti-Asian hate crime hits too close to home. The victims of these crimes could have been among the immigrant survivors that we serve every day. Throughout the pandemic, KFSC never closed its doors. Our frontline essential workers stepped into the role of providing critical services to Asian immigrant survivors of gender-based violence. And we could not have done this without so many allies like Queens District Attorney Melinda Katz. So we once again pledge to continue providing support for our survivors and advocating for their needs. And we look forward to continuing to work with you, District Attorney and her office. So thank you again for this honor, and let's celebrate the AAPI Heritage Month together.
Thank you. Thank you.
Okay, so next we have a video submitted by the Herrick's Chinese Association from their children's sing-along class. Your smile is so beautiful.
想去远方的山川，想去海边看海鸥。不敢把你有多久，有你就足够。喜欢看你的嘴角，喜欢看你的微笑。把荧光在那蓝天，想你的微笑。你笑起来真好看，像春天的花一样。把所有的烦恼，所有的忧愁，统统都吹散。你笑起来真好看，像夏天的阳光。整个世界全部是完美的小房间。想去远方的山川，想去海边看海鸥。不管风雨有多少，有你就足够。喜欢看你的嘴角，喜欢看你的微笑。把荧光在那蓝天，像你的微笑。你笑起来真好看，像春天的花一样。把所有的烦恼，所有的忧愁，统统都吹散。你笑起来真好看，像夏天的阳光。整个世界全部的时光，美就像花田。你笑起来真好看，像春天的花一样。把所有的烦恼，所有的忧愁，统统都吹散。你笑起来真好看，像夏天的阳光。整个世界全部的时光，美得像花田。
Ms. Yang, I got to interrupt. I mean, could you get more beautiful than that? I
That
just
was
want to
pretty
know.
cute.
That was unbelievable. Thank you so much. That was such a pleasure. Thank you.
So before we go further into the program, I want to take the time to thank the community co-sponsors for the event tonight. The organizations supporting the event include CAGNY, the Korean American Association of Greater New York, OCA, Organization of Chinese Americans, AAPI, Asian Americans for Equality, South Asian Council for Social Services, National Federation of Filipino American Associations, Legal Good, CPC, Chinese American Planning Council, KCS, Korean Community Services, Garden of Hope, Mentari, Korean American Family Service Center, NAVA, Asian American Federation, Non-Resident Nepali Association, KAIPA, Chinese American Independent Practice Association, and finally, the United Sherpa Association. So our next performance comes from the Rangla Punjab Dance Academy for an exciting Bollywood style dance.
संगीत
Okay, well, thank you to the Rangla Punjab Dance Academy for that. Next, we have a greetings informational video from the Tibetan community from the Himalayan Cultural Center in Jackson Heights. We are excited to celebrate the diversity of the Asian and Pacific Islander communities of our amazing borough.
My name is Dr. Kunga. I'm Culture Director of Himalayan Studies Center. Here's our center, so please come in. Under the guidance of His Holiness Gyao Karmapa, in order to protect and promote the religious and cultural traditions of Tibetan and Himalayan regions, the Himalayan Culture Study Center has been founded and registered in New York. The main purpose of the center is preservation, promotion, and provide the study opportunities of Tibetan and Himalayan Buddhist culture. And the center also provides a rich collections of books, including Thankyur and Tengkyur, the Buddhist canonical works, classical works of Indian and Tibetan Buddhist masters in multiple languages, and publications about history, literature, and traditional science of Tibet and Himalayas. We are located at 76-37th Avenue, 2nd floor, Jackson Heights, New York, 11372. Thank you.
Okay, so next we will hear from Ravi Vaidyanatha Shivacharya of the Hindu Temple Society of North America for the benediction.
Namaste to all of you. It's my privilege and honor to lead today's benediction. Dear Madam Melinda Katz, leaders, members, honorees, cultural performance groups, and all those who are associated with this program on Asian Pacific Islander Heritage Month. On behalf of Hindu Temple Society of North America, I offer my sincere prayer to Almighty for a smooth healing and benefit of all living entity. We acknowledge and appreciate the honorees for their lifelong contribution in promoting human values, service to the community, maintain religious harmony and peace in this part of the planet Earth. You people are best of all persons whom we sought for, have found you always near us and waiting to render help. I will render a Sanskrit verse and also give English translation. Arogyam satkavitvam mati matula bhalam kanti mayu prakarisham vidyam aishwaryamartam sudhamapi labhate stotra surya prasadhat. A prayer to Almighty, blessing everyone here to be with good physical health, possess great skills, become an uncomparable creative thinker, intelligent, splendor, and superiority nature, be an attractive character with leadership quality, have long life, wealth, and happiness. This prayer to Almighty, may the Master of the universal subject, who established in us the strength and fame and also power of performing sacrificing feat in the way as the Almighty has established the sun in the heavenly region. Lord's instruction to the leaders in Niti Shastra for the moral code of conduct says, Utsaha sahasam dhairyam buddhi shakti parakramaha shadhete yatra tishtanti tatra devo apitishtati. It says leaders who live with qualities such as enthusiasm, adventure, courage, intelligence, strength, bravery, and aggression, we'll always have the support of the Lord and also the people. Om sarve bhavantu sukinoha, sarve santu nirabhayaha, sarve bhadrani pashyantu, ma kasyit dukkhabhag bhavet. May all living beings be peaceful and happy. Let all live happily. Let all live without any misery. Let all see, hear, and perceive only good things. Let no one ever be sad. Sarve janaha sukhino bhavantu. May all beings be happy and peace. God bless you for a long and fruitful life. Namaste and thank you. God bless all. Thank you.
Thank you so much for that. So this concludes our program for today. We thank all the staff, the partner community organizations, and honorees for making tonight's celebration a success. Thank you so very much for joining us today.